You're watching WECT News.
Less than 1% of Americans who served during World War II are still alive today. But one of them, right here in Wilmington, celebrated his 100th birthday today. WCT's JC Caldwell was there for that celebration and shares his story.
Make sure you smile. All aboard the USS North Carolina Battleship.
She fought in all the major battles in the Pacific, had a spectacular war record.
She's a ship decorated with history.
Most decorated surviving battleship of World War II.
Her history, something World War II veteran Louis Bergault has seen with his own eyes.
This ship, she and I were friends.
And friends celebrate together.
Happy birthday to you.
Especially when celebrating a milestone, like one of the last living World War II veterans turning 100 years old. Do you feel 100 years old?
No, I feel 140 years old.
Bergault was born in 1925 in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Jazz music, Model T Fords, black and white movie theaters.
He enlisted in the Marine Corps at 17 years old.
Louis is a living legend. He's part of the greatest generation.
As people celebrated him today with speeches and lunch,
smoky, heat, sweet. Let's do the smoky.
They were also reminded he's part of important history too.
He fought at Bougainville. He was wounded in Guam.
Bergault also fought at Iwo Jima in 1945.
That was such a bloody, terrible battle.
The same battle this very ship, the USS North Carolina Battleship, was at too.
I'm the only one around here that saw those 16-inch guns fire.
Now at 100 years old.
We talk about this battleship as the artifact. Well, Louis, you are the artifact.
He's alive to tell the tales to other Marines meeting him for the first time.
It just reminds me how precious and important it is to maintain that connection with our legacy. He is definitely a living legacy for us as Marines.
And living to tell his tales to guests who come aboard.
And they see this guy who helped create the world we live in.
He still serves as an ambassador for the battleship, teaching World War II history.
I live life in the windshield, not in the rearview mirror.
Happy 100th birthday, Marine. Semper Fidelis.
Bergault says he'll continue volunteering here for as long as he can. Reporting from the USS North Carolina Battleship, JC Caldwell, WECT News.
The Cape Fear had a